I said in my last video I would most likely be coming back and changing my predictions for the Indy 500 after qualifying, and while I am doing that, I feel there is a matter at which needs to be discussed a bit more in depth along with that. And if you have been following the 500 and the qualifying, I think you have an idea of what I'm talking about, or if you just saw the title of the video, which is the situation with Team Penske in the Indy 500. I'll give a brief synopsis of what happened, and then we're gonna watch a video real quick um, about it. It's short, but it'll still be a shorter video than the last one because I just kind of wanted to touch up on it. So, in a nutshell, um, the the number 12 and 2 car of um, Will Power and Justin Newgarden, respectively, failed the pre-qualifying tech inspection, and it was the annuator. What it was the annuator of the cars were found to not follow the rules and guidelines of IndyCar, and they filled in a seam which should not have been filled in that could improve aerodynamics, possibly increasing straight line speed. And obviously, it's not allowed in IndyCar, so they failed. They weren't allowed to qualify. Um, but this is a bit bigger of a situation when you take into account a lot of things, and I'll talk about that real quick. But first, I want to do a video um, that was sent out earlier today from the official IndyCar YouTube channel of a press conference from the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Doug Vols. Um, he talks about everything that happened better than me, um, and really dives into what happened, what was done to figure this stuff out. And I thought it'd be good to watch this video. I'll maybe pause a couple times in between and give my thoughts, but overall, I'm just going to let it play, give my thoughts, and then that'll be that.
Everybody's probably seen the release that we put out with our statement related to yesterday's qualifying here for the Indianapolis 500. First, pretty cool pole qualifier. Excited for that. A rookie with a rookie team. I had fun last night calling the team and congratulating them. So good news out of that. I'm going to back up for a minute just for the folks that didn't get a chance to speak with me last night about 8:15 when we had a handful of you over at the end of the evening. You know, yesterday for me, sort of the lawyer training in me said, let's just make sure we have our facts correct. So spent quite a bit of time yesterday trying to understand how we got to the spot where we were. There were a lot of rumors circulating throughout, given the fact that it was on TV, and we just wanted to make sure that before we really made any statement, we knew exactly what had happened. So for those that missed that really quickly, the 12 cars yesterday in final qualifying go through a pre-qualifying technical inspection, and the 12 car did go through. When the 12 car went through, Kevin Blanche, our technical director, and his team noted on the 12 car that the attenuator might have been modified. And Rocket in his head was pretty sure that we had a rule, but he didn't have the rule book with him that stated that could not be a modified part, and we do in fact have that rule. The next couple of cars that went through, they looked at the attenuators on those cars. They were clearly unaltered, and when the 2 car came through, the 2 car had an altered attenuator on it. At that point in time, Kevin said to the car chief of the 2 who was standing with him, will you please call the car chief of the 12 car and tell him to move the car aside because that attenuator also is illegal. At that point in time, just to give a background on why that is, as we quickly try and get cars through tech for pre-qualifying so they can get out to the grid and qualifying, it is not unusual it's not common, but it is not unusual for our technical team to find something on a teammate car and actually go out onto pit lane and inspect a teammate's car, just to ensure that if they found something on one car, it's not on the other. So the tech team did the job as they were supposed to. Some confusion happened on pit lane, I think, when members of the 12 car, I believe, started to grind on the back of the attenuator where it had been modified, which then created, I think some rumors came out of that, but that was really the reason we were trying to think through the facts of that position. Rocket did talk to Kyle Novak, who's our race director, on pit lane to make sure that Kyle Novak agreed with him that we have a rule that says that part, the attenuator, must be run as supplied. Kyle and Rocket both agreed, and at that point in time, Rocket did let the team know that the 12 and the 2 car could qualify if they'd like to, but in post-qualifying technical inspection, they would likely be disqualified because those parts are not legal. The team could either do that or they had the choice of pulling out of line. The team chose to pull out of line and take that option versus qualifying and being disqualified for sure as they went through the tech line. Our rule states that you will start at the back of the qualifying session in which you're qualifying. So those cars were qualifying in the top 12. So therefore, last night, as we noted, those 2 cars, the 2 and the 12, would go to the back. The 3 car, who had been in an accident earlier in the day, was already going to go to the back because he did not present to qualify. And those 3 cars would have been lined up by the way that their qualifying speeds on Saturday were to get things started. Throughout the night, and sort of getting into this a little bit more, and frankly, thinking about the integrity and the importance of this race, IndyCar has a rule. It's Rule 9.2.1. I highlighted a couple pieces of it here because I think it's important in this conversation. Penalties can be determined by the gravity of the violation and its impact on the fairness of competition. IndyCar has the authority to impose any or all or any combination of the following penalties against any member for any violation of the rules at any time. And it sets out a lot of things, all of which if you read the release, all of which we have the authority to do based on this rule. The thing that strikes me the most about this rule is the gravity of the violation. This is the world's largest motorsport event, the Indianapolis 500. This event defines who people are. And for us, especially on that stage, we believed that allowing the 2 cars, the 2 and the 12, to start in 12th and 11th, which is a place that they might have actually qualified in had they been allowed to qualify, was not a sufficient enough penalty and did not present an appropriate enough result for the violation. So therefore, we have decided to move the 2 and the 12 car to the back of the grid. They will start in 32nd and 33rd position. The 2 car first in 32nd and the 12 car in 33rd based on their qualifying times. The 3 car, in our investigation of the 3 car, by the way, we do have the attenuators from all 3 of these cars. The 3 car attenuator from the crash with the crashed wing still attached to it was provided to us, and we still have it. That attenuator was not modified at all. So on Sunday, we can tell you by facts, again, the lawyer in me, that car was presented when it drove, at least, with an attenuator on the car that met all of the rules of the IndyCar competition rulebook. So the 3 car will start in 10th spot, which will be the last car in the Fast 12 that did not get removed to the back of the field. So the 3 car will not have any additional penalties. Additionally, on the 2 and the 12 car, because of the gravity of this situation and the importance of this race and the importance of ensuring that the NTT IndyCar Series continues to have its integrity, and so that we can continue to tech cars and know that when we tech cars and you bring them through, we expect them to be rule followers. Both of those cars will be fined $100,000. They will lose any points that they would have gotten for the final 12. Both strategists for those cars will be suspended from the Indianapolis 500 through the end of May. And at the end of today, we will redraw for qualifying pit positions, and the 2 and the 12 will get the last 2 positions available. So with that, I guess I just want to reiterate that I think our tech team did a fantastic job. We've got a group of people who are trying to get cars through in a very quick way so that we can make sure that we've got cars on track for our fans. We've got cars on track for television. Tech may begin at the tech pad, and the teams know this. Tech does not end once you roll off the tech pad. The tech does not end even if you have a tech sticker on your car. At all times, cars must follow the rules of the IndyCar series. And therefore, even if somebody might have missed something, which did not happen in this case, we can take a car on pit lane and penalize it for having a part on the car that does not fit the rules. So, I'd much rather be talking about how great the Indianapolis 500 is and how our ticket sales are and how we had our biggest qualifying weekend in terms of attendance since 2016. But it felt to me like the most important thing for us to do today was set the field of the Indianapolis 500. One other thing, because I know I'll get a question about it, I'll just address it right now. When we left here on Saturday, we left here with the 30 fastest cars locked in. Some folks have asked me, why would you not remove the two cars? Those two cars, the 2 and the 12, qualified on Saturday. They had passed tech. We did not see anything illegal with those cars in tech. So therefore, we are starting the 33 fastest cars in the Indianapolis 500. The 2 and the 12 just happened to start at the back.
So, and that is basically what I was trying to explain in a not that nutshell. What I said was in a nutshell. Um, but that is a better explanation of what I was saying. I'll reiterate, two and the, 12, failed inspection, attenuators did not follow regulations. Therefore, they were given a penalty, severe in any other situation, but for this, it is very right. They have been sent to the back of the field. They are starting in last and second to last, based off of their times from yesterday, not yesterday, Saturday. And both teams are getting $100,000 fines, along with their strategists not participating in the Indianapolis 500, and for the rest of the month. And I think that is beyond fair. I think that is a very justified um, punishment for this situation. The Indy 500, as Doug Bull said, is one of the, if not the biggest motorsport event in the world. People will come all over the world to see this, and drivers from all over the world will come to race. And to think that it is okay to do something like this in what is widely known as the greatest spectacle in racing is insane. It really is. And especially coming from Penske, because if you don't know, last year at St. Pete, they had a whole nother cheating situation, specifically more so with the number two of Joseph Newgarden, where they basically had unlimited push to pass. That ruined reputation for him, and I feel, and a lot of people. For me, I was willing to put it aside somewhat and see Joseph as a good driver because he is. He is a very good driver. But after yesterday and today getting that message out, I don't know how I feel anymore. I don't know how I feel about Joseph. Actually, I'm going to rephrase. I don't know how I feel about Will Power anymore. I was a Power fan. I really was. And to know that, which he may not have known, at the moment, I'm under the impression he did. And to know that he knew this was happening and to know he knew it was not right really puts a sour taste in my mouth and really does make me reconsider whether or not he is someone to root for if he is doing this kind of stuff in a race that he, of all people, should know is very important. And with Joseph Newgarden, I'm I can't put this aside anymore in all honesty. He did it once. It wasn't a huge deal. I mean, it was a big deal, but it was pretty much whatever at the in the end. You know, he did it. He said he made some bullshit uh reason as to why he didn't know, and that was that. In the end of the day, I just chalked it up as being stupid and that he could do better. But now I don't I don't know I don't think he really takes this as seriously as wants it to look. Because this is the second time he's cheated now. And not only that, it is in the biggest motorsport event in the world, the most widely known, most well-renowned motorsport event in the world. That's a big deal. And, like I said, I think his punishment, and so is Will's, is justified. I think Penske's is justified, and that's another thing. I don't like Penske. I don't even know how I feel about Penske anymore. Like, I was able to handle them. I was fine with Penske. But I mean, now, second time this has happened, you thought after last year they would have had their shit together, but they don't. And that's a problem. And that's a problem that I can't see myself putting aside like I did before and just chalking it up as stupid games, stupid prizes. And it sucks. And something else I saw people talking about on all the posts regarding this, and I think they should have done, which he did touch upon, but this is the one thing I disagree on, is them still having a guaranteed spot in the 500. I think I agree with what other people have said, and I think what should happen is give Jacob Abel a spot. Because if you didn't watch qualifying, Jacob Abel was the unfortunate driver to get knocked out of the 500 and is unable to participate anymore because he did not make qualifying. I feel that with this situation and how big of a deal it is and how drastic in a way it is, I think what should have happened was Jacob Abel should have gotten a spot and they should have let Will Power and Joseph Newgarden fight it out for that spot, for that last spot. Or just given whoever had the fastest time Saturday a spot. Um, that may be a little worse than what they deserve, but I do think it is very unfair for Jacob Abel as a driver to not have a spot in the 500 when there are two cheaters now who are still guaranteed a spot. And another thing that I just now remembered, we don't know how long this has been going on. This is something that I just now found. This could be what gave Joseph Newgarden his two wins in the 500. We don't know for sure. I mean, hell, like they almost got away with it. They almost got away with it yesterday, sort of. So they could have been doing this for God knows how long and winning races with this, the 500 with this, and we didn't know. And it really, really puts Joseph Newgarden's public figure into jeopardy. It really does. I don't know why he would let this happen again. I don't know why Will Power would let this happen. A veteran, a very popular veteran of all people. And it's just really bad. I think this is bad. Think, I don't have a good view on these two anymore and on Team Penske. Scott McLaughlin, I think, is still fine. I mean, he didn't do anything. Like they said with like Doug Bull said, they checked his car, um, at least I guess what they could have checked and seen that it was good. It was fair. And pre-quality inspection showed that it was fair too. So I still don't have any problem with Scotty Mack. He's fine. But Power and Newgarden and honestly the Penske team in whole, sour taste. It really does put a sour taste in your mouth. But in the end, it's a big deal. And it's definitely changed my 500 predictions. Not only that has changed that, but Schwartzman getting pole has also changed that. That is a big deal as well. 43 years, I think. 42, 43 years since a rookie has gotten the pole in the Indianapolis 500 is insane. So, that being said, Will Power and Joseph Newgarden are no longer in my top five or four, however many it was. Um, Not because I just don't like them anymore, but because they're starting in the back of the field. And in all honesty, there's absolutely no way they could make that work. That would be a miracle and a half if they could, and I wouldn't respect it in the slightest. But I'm definitely putting Robert Schwartzman in there along with Pato O'Ward. And then I think I'll also take out Elio just because his qualifying pace wasn't good. That's just not really a topic for right now. I just thought I would update that. Um, but overall, yeah, this is a bad situation, and it really does, I think, shine a new light on these drivers in this team and really makes people stop and think, what else could they do? And yeah, that that's about it. Thanks for watching.